Welcome YouTube again. I'm back in a different guise. I've been away for a long time. There's a specific reason for that. Welcome to all my faithful followers, which I know who you all are, and welcome to the new people that have joined in my hiatus where I've had my break. And there's a lot of new content coming up, so hopefully you enjoy that. Now, this channel used to be all about wild camping, making stuff for wild camping, going on wild camps, etc, etc. Now, I got to a point where I was running out of things to say about wild camping and doing tutorials and making stuff for sewing, so I decided to have a break. I didn't want to just pour out content for the sake of it. I wanted to diversify. I don't want this channel to be all about wild camping. I want to do other things as well. I wanted to explore new hobbies and get in real depth in it and learn at a very fast rate, which is what I enjoy doing. And I can't do that while I'm doing YouTube because it slows everything down. It's a massive chunk out of the time to YouTube and put it onto YouTube. So I decided to stop doing all YouTube, stop making stuff for people, and just delve into my hobbies in a great depth, learn a whole new load of skills. And this is where I am now. So I have new skills, new hobbies, and new interests. I'm still doing wild camping, I'm still making tarps, I'm still doing stuff like that, but not as much. And the videos going forward are not going to be about that, they're going to be about other things now. I will drop some odd things in. So the first area I went into, I think, was leatherwork. So I decided to learn up my skills in leatherworking, and I done everything. I went into it deep detail, joined all the forums, contributed to those, got to a position now where I can just make anything I want pretty much, sheaths and belts and bags, and repairing leatherwork and waterproofing leatherwork, staining, tooling, anything I want, to a level that I'm happy with, a good high level, not amazing quality, but good enough for me. And that's where I wanted to be with my leatherwork. I didn't want it to be my whole life's work, which some people do. If you want to get that real, super fine perfection on all your bevels and have all the latest tools and things like that, then you need to devote your whole life to it to get that good. But I just wanted to have a basic good level set of skills where I wasn't limited, that if I needed something I couldn't make it. So I'm at that stage now. I've got all the tools, equipment, practice skills, so I've got all of that. So I was happy with the leatherwork, done that. It took me about 6 to 8 months, maybe 12 months to learn properly, but you can learn it quite easily. It's not that hard, it's more about practice than learning. There is some technical and technique to it, but more of it is just practice and learning. So leatherwork's okay. It didn't stretch me in terms of difficulty. I like things that are really difficult, and leatherworking wasn't really an area that I found technically challenging, physically challenging to get really good quality stuff, but not technically challenging. So that's all right. I've done that, fine, happy with the leatherwork. Now moving on from leatherwork, I wanted to go to something else. If you've been following me in other social media, you'll see all the stuff that I've done. My main area now for sharing what I'm doing right at the moment without having to wait for videos is Instagram. So find Tack Blades on Instagram and you'll see all the latest stuff I'm doing. Anything that I want to put out to social media you'll find on Instagram because it's so easy and quick. I love it. It's the best way to share stuff. I am active on the forums on leatherworking, paracording, 3D printing, wild camping mainly. So you will find me on those, but Instagram's where it's all at. So that's where I am. So from leatherworking, I went on to paracording. Last time I went into paracording, things were quite a basic level, but now they're really advanced. There's a lot of depth to paracording that a lot of people don't realise. So I started off doing, trilobite weaves and Mad Max style bracelets and things like that, just to get going. And then I went to a little bit more depth and started doing my own custom weaves, things like that, going into the beads, looking at high quality beads. Some people can pay £70 for a bead, no problem. That's not me. So I was looking for beads around, 10 for £6, something like that, which I found in China. And this one was made in Romania, I'd like to say, or Russia, Romania, I think. And this is an orc bead, hand cast and crafted. So this is about the highest level I go to. And so, yeah, did a lot of paracording and ended up making loads and loads of bands, as you see, all different styles. This is quite a king cobra with a nice Viking sort of attachment, things like that. So I did a lot of that. Now that is depth. That's more depth than leatherwork, I'd say, because the actual technical challenge of creating brand new knots that have never been seen in the world is very difficult. And I did a few of those. So if you look on Instagram, Wolf Spirit is my weave that I created and put on there, which I really enjoy. And that technical challenge I really enjoyed. So this has been going on for quite some time now. So I love paracording. And the technical challenge of this, physically it's not hard, it's really easy to do paracording, but technically it is quite challenging. Then I started doing crossover, so I was taking beeswax and oils that I used in leatherworking and putting it into paracord, so I can waterproof a paracord bracelet, keep it from dirt and things like that, using beeswax and heat treatments and things like that. So that's really good, I really enjoyed that. Now you'll find if you go down the paracording route, and if you have already, you probably recognise this, you're looking for harder and harder stuff to do, more challenging things to do. So from the bands, I went to these, which are dog leads. Obviously we've got a dog. This is for a super strong dog. This is the heaviest lead I did. This is a 2, 4, 6. This is an 8 weave braid with West Country style whipping. The braid is interleaved back into itself, so it's spliced, so it's mega strong. This is for the strongest dog. This would cope with a lion. And we got 40 kilonewton. Was it 40 or 4? No, 40 kilonewton. You can swing off it. No, I'd have to check that. I can't remember. But this is a super strong clasp, a rock climbing type clasp, gated. And this is super strong and twists and everything else. So sourcing all this quite hard, but I found all this. So I really enjoyed doing that. This is a technical challenge, absolutely. Getting all the tensions as you weave is very hard. And getting the cores right, getting everything round, and then you pressure roll it. You roll it under high pressure. You can beeswax it to protect it. So this is, you know, this is the Rolls Royce of dog leads, and I did all sorts of dog leads, made some for other people, did some for myself, using brass fittings and all that. So dog leads, really good. I really enjoyed doing that, really hard to do. And then you're looking for the most difficult thing you can do in knotting and weaving and paracording. And I was looking for that, and I did find it in the end. So for me, in the end, the most technically difficult challenge for paracording for me is whips. This is a bullwhip. Is it a bullwhip? No, a snake whip. This is a snake whip. I started off with snake whip because it's the easiest of all the whips. So the amount of technique, difficulty and technology in these is immense, because it has to perform very precisely, sort of mathematically almost, to get the crack of the whip. So in here we have 3 bellies, which is 3 different sections, all tapering, all reducing. We have a central core, which is a single strand of gutted paracord with ball bearings in, going all the way down, so it gives the weight to the whip. So you've got BBs going all the way down the middle. You've got your 3 bellies going all the way down, tapering as you go. As you weave, you drop strands and weave it in, etc. So that's really hard to do. And then at each transition, where you got, the idea is to get the perfect curve as it rolls out. You need the perfect curve, and that's what gives you your whip. So to get that, you need different tensions and stiffness at different parts of the whip to achieve that. So in here we've got artificial sinew, we've got Dyneema, and we've got special tapes and fabrics and glues and things which go around different transition points, and the tension and the type of weave you do determines the stiffness of the whip. So that gives you exceptionally high performance whips. Now at the end you've got a knotting arrangement, which is quite complex. Then you've got the fall, which is another thing within itself, and then you've got the cracker, which again is another thing within itself. This is a Dyneema cracker, so obviously you have to fray it out, and you have to have different rolls and weaves and different types of knots and all of that, so it's really difficult. And then the handle, this was a West Country whipping handle, but you can do all sorts. So this is really good. This cracks really loud. It's ear-splittingly loud to crack. All my kids love these. They love cracking the snake whips. They're the easiest ones to crack, I would say, and they're short and compact, so you can put them in your pocket, no problem at all. So whips, very technical. I love doing these. These are the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Much harder than the sort of leather working or even world camping. The technology in these whips are pretty hard. And then you soak them in wax, beeswax and oils and things like that to protect them. Now, where do you go from there? Well, there's more difficult whips. This is a 16-foot long bullwhip. So this is similar techniques to the core, body, stiffness, rollout. Goes down to a smaller lead on, and then the fall, and then the cracker again, Dyneema. But the handle end, you've got a different scenario. So here, inside here, is a 1/4-inch steel rod. Goes all the way down. This is all bonded and bound to the inner cores of the weave. You've got different weaves in the handle to the body. And then you've got these transition knots that cover up the transitions. And these are Turk's heads and things like that. Different types of knots, and they're quite difficult to do. They've also got layers of leather underneath to bolt them out and all that kind of stuff. Then you've got your pummel knot, similar sort of affair, and you can put in, I put in a Celtic coin in there, but you can put things in the end, and you know, it's all very technical, time consuming. This will take me probably about 6 days to make if you have all the stuff ready at hand. Again, ball bearings in it, you know, the whole works. And this cracks amazing, but it's technically difficult to crack, so you need a bit of skill to crack these. So bull whips, that is probably the ultimate, most technical, most difficult thing you can do with paracord. So done it. Which is also a problem for me, because once I've done it, there's nowhere to go, and then I get bored. So done it, move on. I've made a few of these, don't really want to make any more because there's no challenge for me anymore. I need something to challenge me more, so I need something more difficult. So paracording, happy where it is, learnt some new skills, found it very interesting, part of the community, and enjoyed that. But that's going to one side now, time to move on. This has all been happening since I've not been doing YouTube, so there's been a lot going on. Then I had an interesting situation. So you know, if you know me, on my channel, I have no ads, I have no revenue streams, I have no e-begging, all this Patreon stuff, give me money for doing what I like to do. No, none of that. No sponsorships, no product promos, no affiliate links, all that nonsense. On my channel you get exactly what I'm doing. All the stuff you see is stuff that I've bought and I've chosen, and I don't do that many reviews because I don't think they're that interesting. And it is what it is. You're never going to be polluted with all that stuff. But I had a lot of people, and I really mean a lot of emails, which I was really quite overwhelmed with, to say, you know, I want to be part of the tack blades thing. I want to own something in tack blades. Can you make me quilts? Can you make me tarps? And no, because I don't want to. I don't want to make stuff for other people, because it means I'm not learning, I'm not challenging myself and doing things for me and my family and other things. So it's not a business. I don't want to make money out of it. That's really not the interest for me. The interest for me is doing difficult things well. So I had a long think about it and thought, okay, I'll do something that people can be part of tack blades, but not cost a lot of money, not be a big investment, not wait forever for things to be done by one guy in a room making stuff. So I decided to do this, which has been very, very popular. So I made hanks, and we'll talk about EDC in a minute because that was the next thing I got into. Now hanks are, could say handkerchief, but they call them hanks, and basically it's quite a high spec piece of cloth. I branded it, you know, tack blades, and it's for folding up, put it in your bag, and it's really for putting your knives in, putting your EDC gear in, everyday carry gear, protecting things, wiping stuff down. You can use it obviously out when you're camping, picking up hot pots, just a general nice heavy duty rag. But people love these. I quite like them. I got a few on my bag, but they really like them in the EDC community. So I said, right, I'll make hanks, I'll put them up. I'm not going to make them to order. I'm just going to make loads, put them up. People can buy them if they're there. So they haven't got to wait. They just get them. So I created a website, which is tackblades.co.uk. Every hank that I've made and I've got in stock is on there. If it's not on there, then I don't have it. So you can't buy it. So you can buy whatever stock's there. So I think I put up 50 hanks, and they all went. They all went pretty quick. So then I made another load, and there's some up there now with limited stock on of each type. So they're there if you want them. It's up to you. So these hanks, we got thin ones, which is, they're all 100% cotton, pre-shrunk, so they're not going to shrink in the wash, all that kind of stuff. High quality stitching, so the best hanks I can make. So we've got thin ones, which is double thin cotton. And we've got all different types of those. And then we got medium weight ones, which is a thin cotton, and then a thick cotton, which is like a cotton drill. And this is half and half, I would say, medium weight. So you've got fine for cleaning glasses and lenses and all that kind of stuff. And then you've got the heavy side for taking care of heavy dirt. It's super rugged, very strong, got camo patterns and all the rest of it. So you got those, which is the medium weight. And then, if I got one here, yeah, I got one here. Then we got the super heavyweights, which are these, which is cotton drill, both sides pre-shrunk. And these are the strongest hanks you'd be able to buy. These are super tough. They fold up pretty small and light, but if you've got some heavy duty hot stuff to do, wild camping things, then these are really good. You can sit on them and, you know, whatever you want to do, these are for you really. So there's 3 different types there: lightweight, medium weight, heavyweight, all different patterns and styles. They're all on the website. I'll continually add stuff as I do them, and you can see they're here for you. So if you want to be part of Tack Blades, they're on there. There's a sale on at the moment if you're interested. Post worldwide, free in the UK, and a percentage of that sale goes to Panthera, which is a charity for looking after environments for big cats and wild animals. So I wanted to be part of that. So part of the sales goes to that. And yeah, I'll ship to worldwide. There's some countries I won't ship to, but most of them, obviously the Americas, Australia and places like that, so all okay. And I've worked really hard to get the price down of the shipping for international. So I've got that to a really low level now, so it's quite practical. So if you want to be part of Tack Blades, you've got the hanks there. That was all part of the EDC. I've delved into the EDC world, joined all the Facebook forums, learned what's going on in EDC. And EDC is a massive subject, and we'll go into that into some other videos. Not really for making, but actually having kit that's very, very useful and you keep on you all the time. There is extremes. In all of these hobbies, there's always extremes. If you want to pay £250 for a bottle opener, you can do that. That is out there for you. If you're that sort of person that needs that, that's there for you, but that's not for me. I can't afford that, that's for sure. But in terms of the small items, titanium items are really nice, brass turned items, handcrafted items are all really nice. So I went into that lot. So I got some EDC gear, which kind of was wrapped up in my knife collection, which I'm collecting a lot of knives, as you know, tack blades. So I've expanded my knife collection. This is a little one I got recently. This is a little necker from a company called Real Steel. Really loving their work at the moment. It's really nice. Little Kydex sheath, a bit paracord work, obviously. And yeah, so I've expanded my knife collection. So I'll do a few videos on some of the new knives, what I think of them, making strops and all that kind of stuff. So I'll go into all of that. And then the knife collection went on to something else. If you know my videos, I hope some of you do, I've got a favourite knife, which is a knife made for me by Field and Steel. This is a semi-custom knife. It's called the Orca. It's a beautiful bushcraft knife. I love this knife. It's got Elmax steel, it's got an Enzo stamped blade, handcrafted handles in Coca-Cola and all that. So I really love, this is my knife. I won't buy another knife like this. This is everything I need. I don't need another knife like this. I don't tend to collect loads of knives of the same type. I buy knives for what I need. But I wanted a small knife to be a companion with this one. And there is some out there. There's some in the States that are insanely expensive. You know, I just couldn't afford those. So I decided to work with a local guy. Some of you might know him. His name's Sandy. He's part of Jack Law Knives. So I think, you know, some of you might know him. He makes some of the world's best knives, without a doubt. His knowledge on metallurgy and forging of, not forging of steel, but tempering of steel, and processing of knives is almost second to none, I would say. He's really outstanding. So, and he lives quite nearby me. He's only up the road, 20 minutes up the road in the car. So we ended up in a situation where I was happy to work with him in his workshop. He said to me, if you want to make a knife, come up and we'll make a knife. So I took him up on that offer. It took 3 or 4 visits to actually do the whole knife. It's quite a big process. It's a lot more involved than I realised and thought about. But Sandy, knowing Sandy, he's super kind, super intelligent and knows all this stuff. And he was a pleasure to work with, really was. I learned so much in those 3 areas. Knife making could be on my list of things to do in the future. I don't know. You need a lot of equipment and knowledge and things to do knife making. You can't really do it for free as a hobby just for yourself. You need to be doing it for other people to keep the skills up. So probably not, but I loved it. It was an amazing experience. So as a result of that, I designed a knife. He pretty much made it, and I helped out with rubbing down and a bit of sanding and a bit of drilling and things like that. But he did the majority of it. And we ended up with this, which is a little mini cleaver. We'll have a whole video on this because I got all the pictures of the process of how we made it and steps and everything else. So we'll have a video on that. This is my design. So I designed the cleaver. I love the cleaver style because it's super strong blade, but in a small package. So this is a great companion to my bushcraft knife, and I love it. It's insanely sharp. It is really, really sharp. 01 tool steel. No liners, just basic shape, but great in the hand. I've got a whole load of information, pictures from the actual making of it. So we'll have a video just on this knife, how it came to be, how we made it, and the ins and outs of it all. So yeah, that'll be a nice little video series. We'll do one on that. So that was my knife collection's going well. I'm enjoying the knife collecting, but it's on and off, limited by money and desire. So I was looking for the next big thing, the next hobby, and I had an actual need that got me into this hobby, and then it's expanded from there. So I had a need that I have this action cam, which I really like, used when I'm out camping and stuff like that. It's the Sony AS20, something like that, and it's a great camera. Low light is amazing, but on its own it rolls over, doesn't stand up. There's no hole in the bottom for a tripod. All the connectors are on the bottom, so when you put it in its housing you can't access the connectors, which is a bit pointless. And I made another housing, but it was really good, but I couldn't access everything on the camera, so I need to make something. So I made this. And this is just a simple case. You just slot it in. Tolerances are quite tight. There you go, that sliding top. And you've got access to every single button, also access to the bottom and a tripod holder. You can stand it on a table on its end, upside down on its side, and it stays there. It's just perfect. It's what I wanted. This is what I had in my head, but I had no way to make it easily. So this got me into 3D printing. So I designed this with some free software, with tolerances and all that kind of stuff. Bought a 3D printer and eventually got to the point where I could print this out, and I'm happy with it. But that opened up a whole new topic of 3D printing, and man, is that complicated. My perception of 3D printing was you have a model, or you create a model, you put it in some software so the printer understands it, you send it to the printer, press print, and out comes a model. That is really not how 3D printing works at all. That is a massive misunderstanding. 3D printing is an art form, without a doubt. The complexity, just to explain, the complexity is a level where you have about 110 software variables to allow you to print something. You don't have to know them all, but all of them have an effect on the print that you're printing. And some of those variables interact with each other, so you can't change one without an effect on another. So you kind of got to learn all that stuff if you really want high quality 3D prints, not just your average print it out happy but it looks kind of rubbish. I'm not into that. I want, the best stuff. So you've got to learn all that. Then you have a whole load of mechanical stuff on the printer itself, which if that isn't perfect, you get effects on your printing. So maybe you got a gap on one wheel on your printer, which is say 0.5 millimeter out, then you end up with wavy lines on your print, or things going weird on your print. So that is absolutely critical as well. Plus there's a perception that you have to spend thousands of pounds to get a nice printer, and that's not the case at all. If you're engineering minded and you want to get into things and tinker with things, you can start off between 150 and up to £500 and get some really nice 3D printing kit that will do amazing stuff. All my stuff's done on a printer that was about £450. You can do really nice stuff. So that, then I realised, to my delight, that it's really hard to do, and you've got to learn loads and loads of stuff, way more than some of my other hobbies. So I thought, yeah, I'm going to get into this. And I started going down a rabbit hole then. There's masses to learn. So I joined all the forums, did all the YouTube research, did all the hardware research. I'm now in touch with the company that manufacture the equipment in China, working with them. I've delved into the firmware on the control board and totally reprogrammed all that, so it does what I want, not what the manufacturer wanted. And you're getting really nice results. Just one sec. So I went from kind of functional stuff like this, like a little friction folder. It's got very tight tolerances, Stanley blade in there, got 3D printed threaded screws and all that kind of stuff. So nice functional stuff, to things like this, which is insane detail, organic shapes. I mean, there's no way you could handcraft that easily and say create 10 of them very easily. With a 3D printer you can, but to get to this level takes a lot of work. It's not easy, which I love. So that's really good. So that's getting into 3D printing, and you'll see going forward that a lot of my work now and a lot of the YouTube content will be 3D printing orientated, and I think you'll find it as fascinating as I do, even if you're not a 3D printer, but just for the technical capability of it and what you're getting into when you look at this kind of stuff. Okay, as soon as your battery runs out, you open the door to get a new battery, and somebody comes in to say hello. This is Bella, it's the family dog. This is Bella. She's very good, aren't you? You're very good. You're a bit starstruck with the whole YouTube thing. Yeah, thought so. So, yeah, 3D printing, very difficult, getting into it a lot, and you'll see a lot of videos now on 3D printing. We're going to go through things like, what are your expectations? What is the reality? Because I expect they are completely different. If you've got a 3D printer already and 3D printing, then we will be going through a lot of calibration, testing, troubleshooting and things like that. So you'll be able to solve some problems that you have, and you can put in requests and things, and we'll do that. And then we will do a lot about purchasing 3D printers. Yeah, purchasing. Yeah. And then we will do a lot about how to set them up and get them going. We will do a whole thing about filaments, which is quite complex now. So you've got polycarbonates, you've got metal infused plastics, you've got PLAs, PETGs, nylons, flexible filaments. It's just a whole subject within itself. So we'll have a little look at that. And then we'll look about the actual printing aspects of it. I dived into it. I didn't want to spend more than £500. So I went in at a very low cost, high performance printer from China. I got the Creality CR10S, which a lot of people are familiar with, which has been amazing. What you can buy. If you're getting into printers now, you can spend £150, maybe 200 and get an amazing printer now. So now's the time to jump in. The technology is at a maturity level now where you can get some really good stuff out of it. This is a print I did the other night. You can see the kind of quality of the prints. This is in a bronze PLA plastic. Amazing. So we're also going to do how to do modelling, technical modelling, not ZBrush kind of organic modelling. We're going to do technical modelling, so we'll do a bit on that, how to get into that for no cost at all, really cheap. And yeah, we'll just go into it and see what it's all about, and you can understand a little bit about it. And even if you're not into 3D printing or modelling, I think you'll find it interesting on where the technology is at the moment around the world and where it's going, because it's a whole different ball game to what a lot of people realise, I think. So we're going to definitely get into that. So, I'll just show you one more print that I did the other day. This is a Terminator T800 head. It's incredible the kind of quality you can get out of these things now. So that's it for this video. It's just a quick intro. Welcome back. I'm glad you stuck around and you haven't all abandoned the channel, so I'm really appreciative of that. Loads of stuff coming up. We will do some knife work. We will do some EDC stuff. We will do a lot of 3D printing stuff. And we'll be doing all of that. Now, if you want to contact me, the best thing to do is either follow me on Instagram, because that's where all the latest stuff is. You'll see it there. Or you can email me at tapblades@gmail.com. You can get me there. So yeah, have a look, and we'll talk about, probably in the next video, we'll do a little bit of intro to 3D printing, but we'll also talk about GearBest and their affiliate system and how they approached me with an offer of giving me free 10 printers, 10 3D printers, and why I turned it down. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye.